Hello again, this is Kevin. You know, the one who got in trouble with his brother Rick because of his girlfriend decided to cheat on him with me, but I told him everything and still didn't believe me. Poor cheating brother. But it's okay, I'll get the truth to you anyway. Just wait. As you may remember, Rick and Nina got engaged and decided to throw a wedding, which I wasn't invited to, and that was the last issue. 2 weeks later, they carefully ignored my calls and texts, and my brother did call me back and call me all the time. On one hand, I was really glad that finally at last, this Rick had contacted me. It actually hurts at heart when your closest person doesn't want to see you a mile away, but his mind took over. I, on the other hand, do not approve of this alliance, and I will stop him at all costs, even if my brother has to get hurt. I am ready. During the conversation, I offered to meet and discuss everything. Brother said yes and offered to take a walk in the park in return. I was glad, but my intuition told me that it was suspicious that he had agreed very quickly. It was as if he had been expecting this and whispered to. So it was a new day, $1 less in my pocket, but we saw each other and chatted for over 3 hours. I got to clarify. I asked him to come without Nina. After walking around, we wrapped it up at a cafe, ordered a coffee sandwich, and I decided to start my speech by apologizing and congratulating him. That I was wrong and acting like a jerk, but my brother was good. He wasn't the oldest in the family for nothing. Rick loved it, and we bumped glasses and had a couple of toasts. And drumroll, he asked me to be his best man. Wow, how's that? You'd have to drive a limo? I don't have a license. Okay, I'm kidding, but I really wasn't expecting that. I'd be honored to try on a top-shelf tuxedo and look my best man for the wedding. Well, after you, of course. He shared his feelings that he was nervous and anxious, but very happy to have such a sensitive, charming, sweet, kind, and faithful wife with him. Yep, faithful. That last compliment made me want to yell my head off. But all in good time, all in good time. It wasn't long before Nina introduced him to her parents. They had a nice dinner and agreed to a marriage. It's disturbing how far this has come, and so this rod is cast. The bait is eaten, and all that's left is to pull out a fish the size of a huge piece of lye. Things got better. The preparations for the celebration went according to plan, and I even saw Nina a few times and we discussed her dress. It would seem that she was supposed to do this with her friends, but she didn't have any, and I was, after all, a brother and could advise what was best not to buy and what to take faster before somebody else took it. But it was really unpleasant to look her in the eyes and feel the hypocrisy. I even wanted to wash, but she did not show it. We chose a dress that was not too expensive, but it was alright, and then began to think about what kind of food and drink should be at the party. Interesting fact, the costume sat on me like a whipped cream on strawberry. You get the idea. I'll keep you posted. Rick kept up with me and chose a chic, classic 3-piece suit from Tom Ford. Highly recommend it. Not at all an ad. So the day of the wedding arrived. The party, the same record, parents, relatives, friends, and some other people too. The engagement ceremony takes place. Rick and Nina exchange rings, kiss, and as they walk down the steps, Rick accidentally steps on the dress and they both fall. The dress didn't rip, but I burst out laughing. I think I was the only one laughing. Perhaps this was a sign of my intelligence. Party from the word evening, and there it was. A room full of people in an awesome restaurant, drinks, glasses, strangers hitting on strangers, and I sit at the table sipping sparkling wine and watching everything that was happening. Well, not bad at all for an experiment. I chatted with one girl, treated her to some shampoo, and as we danced, I occasionally glanced over at Nina and caught her quick averts of her eyes away from me. I think it's gonna be like clockwork. As the hour goes by, then another hour, and then some of the guests have had their fill, and I realized that I want to have another drink with my favorite brother. I get up to him, yank him down out of the seat, and take him to my table. I do this several times, but it was time for the men's company to get some privacy. And Rick's friends called him over for a drink of something more interesting. He invited me too, but I said that I'd join him later. I waited a while until everyone had gone and then sat down with my sister-in-law to celebrate the wedding, but she politely declined. Why do you refuse? Let's have a drink. You picked the champagne yourself, didn't you? Alas, I can't. I have to watch your guests. Damn it, I thought. At this rate, the whole night will go by and the soulmate won't be exposed. Just one drink? Just one drink. Well, okay, just one drink. We drank the first glass and the conversation picked up very quickly. First glass does wonders for people. 5 minutes go by, and I was like, look, we're doing so well. I think we needed 2 more of these beauties to knock over. She looked at me apprehensively and first wanted to refuse, but apparently she got a taste of the fun. And with a smile, she agreed. And one more, and one more. And now the bride had reached her conditioning, and I suggested we get some fresh air. As we walked, I noticed that her look had changed. She began to smile at me pleasantly and shyly, and occasionally turned away and looked somewhere in the direction. Our conversation on the veranda continued, and gradually, step by step, Nina began to move closer and closer to me, until eventually she tried to kiss me. Fortunately, I had time to notice this, though I was not completely mental myself, but I leaned back in time to ask her what she was doing. She was just like a lightning bolt. She began to spill the truth, that she really loves me and has for a long time, and that she's agreeing to the wedding to be closer to me because I rejected her previous proposal and leaked everything to my brother. But she didn't give up, and this time I can't refuse. No, I can and will refuse. After a brief pause, suddenly she pulls her dress, and I already thought that she was about to try to seduce me. But she ridiculously pulls out a pack of cigarettes and opens it. So you smoke too. What else don't I know about you? But I grabbed the pack, threw it away, and took her back to the table. I sat her down. I looked for my brother, because this time I had all the proof I needed. You'll laugh, but I found my brother at the smokehouse, where he was telling his friends that he once strangled a snake after every couple because of a girl with a bodacious figure. What's the big deal? I laughed myself and added, oh, you've done that too? I think everybody does that. Girls, if you don't know what this is, ask about the guys in the comments. As these words, everyone started laughing and took advantage of the moment to take the young hubby away before he said anything else drunkenly. I sat him down next to the bride and put off the showdown. A few days after the binge, both got over their hangovers, and I dragged my brother downtown and once again brought up the subject of his lover who bombed on him. His loft suddenly exploded, and my brother was on his way out when I pulled out my phone, put on a video, and he saw the whole thing with his own eyes. Fortunately, I bought my cameraman that day, and he kindly filmed all of her hitting on me. He didn't want to believe his eyes, so he called Nina and asked if it was true, to which she denied. But when he saw the forwarded video, confirmed it. He was mortified, and I achieved my goal. By the way, she also smokes, even though I wouldn't let her at the time. Oh man, I felt so sorry for him afterwards. He was in apathetic depressive state for another 6 months, but I had to do it for his own good, and I don't regret it. And Rick thanked me in the end because life doesn't end there. And since then, he and I have been checking out the girls we meet more thoroughly and confessing our love and being more careful. One time I overlooked, and he almost married again some hottie who needed his promising future and then surprisingly, for a student, connections, and he somehow saved me from adopting a religion unknown to me. But God, how this girl who was offered me to join their October squad was tongue-tied and sweet, that you would want to agree to anything. Watch out for sectarians. Bottom line, don't cheat. Don't be a hypocrite, and never leave your loved ones that don't deserve it. Only cattle and traders do that, because they and no one else will help you out in the time of need. Be careful, take care of your loved ones, and take care of yourself. If you liked the video, then please leave a like and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.